Hello everyone. Okay, so tonight's dinner was supposed to be something entirely different. That's what was on the menu, although it still had chicken breast. My parents stopped by briefly for like 2 to 3 minutes yesterday to drop off a care package, Easter stuff for the kids, from afar, of course. Hashtag social distancing. And with that, my dad dropped off one of his lovely penne casseroles. It's like a lazy lasagna, just made with like penne noodles. Hang on, Solo has to go pee-pee. And so I was still planning on doing a chicken pasta dish today, but because he dropped off what he did, and legit, I have no room in my freezer for it. It had to go in the fridge, which means I need to use it today. So we're going to change it up a bit, and we're going to do a chicken parm with it. So in a bag, I've already got about 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs that I've seasoned with a tablespoon of oregano, a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And if it makes it easier for you, because my dad makes my breadcrumbs for me, you can, because we don't season them, we season them as we're ready to use them for different meal applications. You can definitely buy like Italian seasoning or the pre-seasoned one. It's totally fine. I'm using two chicken breasts. They are still slightly frozen. That's okay. They'll cook out in the oven. All my things are like frozen. What's happening? I've got 1 egg, a tablespoon of milk, salt, pepper, and I beat it up. I do recommend, using gloves if you have them. Right now, COVID-19, good luck, even if you're a medical professional. And so I really, out of respect for the pandemic right now, would avoid using gloves while cooking chicken, and I would just really wash my hands thoroughly. But I sliced my hand pretty badly. It hurts. But just me and the kids. So, makeshift, do what I need to do so I don't have to go and get stitches. I'm sure it's probably not that bad, but it hurts. So just to make sure, because I'm handling raw meat and whatnot, so I don't cross-contaminate food here, I am wearing a glove. Otherwise, mad respect, I would be conserving and not using them right now. This just happens to be one of my very last kitchen gloves from DRAM. Okay, so I'm just going to take off all my Seminelli type things, give my hands a good scrub before I do anything. This hand is free of whatever, but pause. Oh Lord. Okay, we're back. Sorry. What am I saying? Sorry, you don't know how much time has passed. A bit. Had to shut things off. It was a whole production shutdowns. Okay, we're back in it. So, at this point, I'm dipping my chicken breast I cut in half, 2 chicken breasts to feed 4 people. In terms of the Canada Food Guide and what a person needs to eat, legit, you don't need more protein than like half a boneless, skinless chicken breast. So the big eaters in my house aren't going to be overly impressed, but thanks Grandpa, that's why there's chicken penne lasagna casserole, because between my toddler and I, we might get through half a cup, so everybody else is going to be very excited about that. So I'm dipping I actually completely submerged my chicken once I cut it into the egg mixture, and had I not cut my hand, I would have shown you wet hand, dry hand, and that is where your one wet hand is always going to be your wet hand, and you are not going to touch it with dry ingredients, and your dry hand is exactly the same, just opposite. You only touch it with dry ingredients so that your fingers aren't goopy with this like egg monstrosity, much like my fork. It's very goopy and whatever. But anyways, I would be showing you that right now. So what I'm going to do is get the rest of these done, and then I'll get you when we go over to the frying pan. Okay. Oh, pause. Okay. So, I've got the chicken breast down on medium-low, so my burner set to 4. And I'm literally just looking for a nice golden brown. I know that it's not going to cook my chicken through. I know that my chicken is still going to be extra raw, if there is such a term. Probably not, because it was slightly frozen. But once I get a nice color on both sides, 2 to 3 minutes each side, I'm going to place it into my oven-safe dish that I have already put 2 ladles of my tomato sauce in. That was in another recipe. And then I'll cover it with some more sauce, tiny bit, and then some cheese. So I'll bring you back when we're ready for a flip. Okay, so the chicken has been fried. I'm going to try doing this with my left hand, just so you can see everything. Fan off. So the chicken has been placed in the sauce, and I'm just going to put a little bit of sauce on each of the pieces of chicken breast, and they are raw, but I'm going to bake them on my countertop oven at 400 degrees for about 45 minutes, and then they will be fantastic. Okay, oh, making a mess. Oh, yay, clean up time. Okay, so now I'm just going to put some cheese. This is how I cut myself. I didn't actually, I had to start all over again once I cut myself. So I'm just going to put all the cheese on, and once the cheese is on, I'm going to put some aluminum foil on top, and just to keep the cheese from burning, and then I'm going to throw it in the oven, so I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. And because you can't have chicken parm without Parmesan cheese, at least not in my world. There's about 2 tablespoons of chicken parm on the whole thing, so I'm going to throw foil on top, get in my oven next to my dad's penne, and then we're just going to have some sauteed green beans with salt, pepper, and garlic. There you go. There's dinner. Enjoy.